Hey, everybody, welcome back to Chicago Reacts. I'm Zach, an actor here in Chicago, soon to be worldwide. And as always, on my left and your right, it's
I'm
none other than.
I'm Michael, everybody. I'm also an actor here in the city of Chicago. We are back with Kerbal Scuffed program 4. This is War.
This has been so heavily recommended.
Yes. And this is by martincitopants. So we've been loving this series. I was a Kerbal fan before, but it's been really fun to see it used in this way. We're really enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything else, and leave a comment in that comment section down below. Let us know some of your fun Kerbal memories or one of your favorite parts about the series.
Also, check us out on Twitch, where we are actually live streaming this particular React session now with the group on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's always awesome to see you guys there. We do some gaming as well. So yeah, come hang out. It's a great time.
We got some awesome viewers in the comment section right now, leaving us some comments that we're going to catch up with afterwards. So go check us out. Also, check out the links in the description down below for all that good stuff. Let's jump into it.
All right, here we go. Part 4, Michael. We've been waiting for this.
I know. I'm stoked. I'm excited what's going to happen. Last we left off, we were what? Hyperspacing?
Yep. There's Kevin.
Kevin, no. Oh, dang.
That's not good.
Oh, what happened to Kevin?
He's possessed.
Oh, shoot.
Look at this armada over here. Oh my god.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Huh! Yeah, see you later, idiots.
Oh my god. He wasn't kidding with the title. Is there really this shit in the game?
Maybe with mods. I never did anything like this.
Hey guys. Jimmy, where'd he go? He drove away in his space car.
He drove away.
Wait, what? What? Wait. Can I at least have my phone? What? Oh, I mean, yeah, sure. All right.
He really went all into this with the editing.
He did.
I guess you guys can leave. True that.
This is the lockpicking lawyer, and what I'm doing today is lock me.
He didn't lockpick himself out of his own handcuffs?
This whole intro is so unhinged.
Wait a minute. Holy shit.
It's so insane. I love it so much.
It's my brand new plush line. That's right, boys. I've partnered up with Makeshift and made this little boy right here. Look at him. He wants to enter your house. That's right. Your very own frog in a suit. Kick him, crush him, dap him up aggressively. Don't lose sight of him. He'll sneak into your walls and won't stop knocking. Put him above you. Imposing, striking, dominant. This is a frog who thinks you are pathetic. Put him below you. Sad, apathetic, and resigned to his fate. For real, this is the single highest quality plush I have ever seen in my life. The exterior is fleece. The suit is stitched on very well. The eyes are embroidered and hard. And... oh my god. You can own one of these boys today by clicking the first link in the description or that horrible, smelly, slimy pinned comment. Do it fast. After 30 days, they will no longer be for sale. Gentlemen, I have one goal with this campaign. Sell more plushes than this goddamn stupid cat. Look at it. This fucking stupid thing. What is wrong with it? Okay, that's kind of cute. This dumbass cat has sold over 1,500 plushes, and we need to sell more. Click that link in the pinned comment and buy it. I assure you, you will not regret your decision.
I kind of want one.
Yeah.
I want a City Pants
Yeah.
plushie.
Who doesn't want a chirpy frog? It's perfect. I might want to...
Oh shit.
We are 5 minutes. We have not seen a Kerbal yet.
Well, we've only seen them burn and die.
Right. He brought his He brought the oh my god, is that great?
Hey guys. Fancy seeing you again. How you been? Sir, why'd you, run away? Anyway, we've set a course for Elu, which as you can see, is rapidly approaching. Oh shit! And would you look at that? Back at the start of the last video, stranded on Elu.
I also really like how he tags the music.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really cool touch. So he's like, it's cool.
Gone ahead and destroyed pretty much every base I built with its giant armada. Ouagadougou, annihilated. Urk, dead. Obson Kerman, face down in a highly corrosive lake. Djibouti, it's seen better days, and most importantly, he's murdered all the Kerbals in the KSC and taken it over for himself. Gentlemen, the Bean Space program is in shambles. All thanks to this rat bastard. Today, we're not building rockets, we're building weapons. Instead of fuel and oxidizer, we have gunpowder and high explosives. Instead of a noble quest to push the boundaries of discovery and science, we're here to kill, destroy, and conquer. My sources tell me that Kevin is rebuilding the KSC and has taken its 96 billion funds to build up military bases on other planets. Some bases are large, and some are small. Today we're going to destroy his shit-ass bases, and then I will kill him. Personally. So, let us begin. Okay, so first off, we need a sit rep. Kevin has in fact noticed that his hangar is empty and is currently searching for us with several hundred drones. One of those drones happens to be near us. Another thing that happens to be near us is this, the last base we built. Kevin somehow forgot about Elu and didn't destroy it, so using this base we can build a craft with weapons. Its goal will be to destroy the search drone driving around on Elu's surface looking for us. But, to do that, we must first learn about weapons. War. Possibly the most ancient part of the human experience. Us apes have been killing each other for a very, very long time, and the first weapon used for this purpose was the humble rock. And then we invented this thing, and these, and some of those, and bam 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 bam, we invented chemical explosives, the topic of today's lecture. And how does an explosive work? Well, it's all about releasing a huge amount of energy in the shortest possible time. If you've ever thrown a log of wood in a fire, you'd know that it burns way too slow to be an explosive. But it does have a lot of energy. In fact, if you were to somehow release all the energy in the wood at once, it would be the equivalent of 14 M67 grenades. So, energy matters, and time matters, which is where explosives come in. A chemical explosive is a substance that can undergo a chemical chain reaction in a very short period of time. Now, all these explosives do is release hot, expanding gas, which you wouldn't really expect to be able to do this.
Is that a Tesla?
So, to kill Kevin's little
looked
surf
like
drone,
it.
we'll get a nice fat bomb, strap it to something innocuous, and detonate it once it's close. For this job, we'll use this. A stroller. To prevent suspicion, we need a brave Kerbal volunteer to act as the baby. Otherwise, our plan would be far too obvious. The plan is simple. Drive up next to the drone and detonate the bomb. If we're seen, we play it cool and act as if we're just another baby in its stroller. Okay, enough talking. Let's go blow some shit up.
I love how he literally just crafted this whole story himself.
I know. I feel like this whole thing was like, how can I get as many mods into this game as possible? And what crazy like story can I tell? It's like, oh, there's all these weapons. There's all these weird things. I'll go to war.
And obviously, you know, it was a successful series. So
Yeah.
you know, he's motivated to definitely keep making content for it. So
It's been wonderful. It's been a blast.
absolutely wonderful.
Excellent. The threat has been eliminated. Even better, many parts of the drone are undamaged and can be salvaged for our use in our next mission. In particular, the radar and the guns. This will be quite useful because our next target is a satellite in low ELU orbit. But first, guns. How do they work? It's pretty simple. Gunpowder explodes, hot gas expands, pressure builds up behind the bullet which pushes on it, and the bullet is shot out of the barrel at high speed. Guns have been around for quite a long time. But they used to look like this, and were pretty shit. These old muskets required you to carry around 2 separate pouches for gunpowder and bullets. The powder would be poured down the end of the barrel, and the bullet would be placed on top. Then you get a big old stick and compact the powder and bullet, remove the stick, pour a bit of powder in this thing called the pan, cock the musket, full cock. And finally, you could shoot. 1 bullet. Then you'd have to do that all over again. Eventually, someone realized that shooting once every 20 seconds was less than ideal, and proper bullets, clips, belts, and magazines were invented. These could feed a gun as fast as its operator could chamber a new round. But this is also far too slow. What? Instead of manually operating the bolt like a peasant, people realized that the recoil of the gun could do that for you. And thus, the machine gun was born. Now, bullets don't actually have that much kinetic energy, but they deploy it in a fraction of a second. Take this 50 BMG round. 50 BMG rounds can do this. Pretty impressive. Since the bullet is 45 grams and exits the barrel at 908 meters per second, we can use this equation and some quick maths to figure out that it only has about 18 kilojoules of energy. Or 5 calories. So, we've got a gun, now we need some way of aiming it. If I take this gun and try shoot down something passing overhead, this happens. The gun is aiming at where the plane is, rather than where the plane will be, and isn't leading its shots enough to get any hits. To lead our shots properly, we need to know the target's speed, distance, and direction it's traveling in. This is where radar comes in.
Teacher
Radar
Martin
waves
comes
are
into
simply
play.
another
It's
form of
amazing.
light with a much longer wavelength. If we shoot a bunch of radar waves at our target, a short amount of time later, we'll receive them back. Since we know how fast light travels, we can work out how far away an object is by measuring the time between sending and receiving the signal and dividing that by 2. We can also tell how fast it's moving by either taking its position at 2 points in time and finding the distance it covers, or by using what's called the Doppler effect. Basically, since the target is moving at a different speed than our radar, the radar waves it reflects will either be a little bit stretched or a little bit squished. Now, if we combine this funky radar technology with our gun, we get this. The Goalkeeper CIWS. The radar allows the gun to track a target, find its range and speed, and then aim at the exact spot it'll be once its bullets reach that. And, would you look at that? 1 CIWS, ready to go.
That's
All we need to
crazy
do
that
now
this
is wait for that pesky satellite.
in KSP.
I know,
I didn't
I
realize
know.
all this was in KSP.
Yo.
That's so
Alright.
cool.
Next up, we're
Yo.
going to commandeer an ore tanker coming from one of Kevin's mining outposts on Bop. Now thus far, we've remained undetected, and I'd like to keep it that way. So instead of something big and flashy, we're going to build a ship with a laser weapon thing and a single Kerbal on a seat. The laser will destroy the guard drone, and the Kerbal will take over the tanker with the help of a very special weapon. This beautiful craft will be named Throngus. So let's go.
Yes.
Now the guard drone is dead, we dismount our Kerbal and send him in. And the ore tanker has been secured. Now we can take it back to base and use its ore to make more mining stations to build our crafts even faster. But first, we've used guns. But what if I told you that we don't need gunpowder to accelerate our little projectile? Railguns. Regular guns use good old expanding gas to move projectiles, but railguns use magnetic fields and electricity. But why bother? Regular guns are just fine. It's all about speed. That 50 PMG round I was talking about earlier could go at 908 meters per second. That's pretty dang fast, right? Yes. But if you want to go faster, then you're out of luck. Gas-powered weapons rely on how fast the gas is physically capable of expanding, and 908 meters per second is approaching the upper limit. But railguns don't have an upper limit. In fact, the only limit on their speed is how much power you can dump into the system. So how do they work? Well, you get two conductive rails and put the projectile in between them, which completes the circuit. Once you fire, a huge amount of power is delivered from capacitors into the rails, which creates an incredibly powerful magnetic field and launches the projectile forwards. These bad boys have been able to shoot projectiles at over 2,500 meters per second, which in KSP terms is orbital velocity. What we're going to use this technology on is this. Kevin has basically stolen the Ouagadougou design and placed it in dual orbit to collect antimatter for his fleet. Now if you remember last video, you know that per kilo, antimatter is pretty much the most explosive thing in the universe. And since Kevin's collector has a fair amount of it in storage, that makes this craft quite vulnerable. He's tried to cover for this fact by armoring up the area around the antimatter container, which is where our new railgun system comes in. The best way to cut through armor is to move faster, and railguns definitely make stuff move faster. So all you need to do is sneak in a small ship with a railgun, aim it at the antimatter storage, sit back, and watch the single, very big gamma ray firework. For this job, we've come up with this beautiful craft. Peebus. So, let's go.
Oh, man. Peebus. Go Peebus. Yeah, it's just gone.
Dude,
Yeah! So
all the editing work that is being put in to make this look cool and have like high energy and be like interesting is so cool. Like I'm really impressed.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, the teaching stuff that he's actually doing too is just, it's so interesting, and we're seeing live representations of it, but not really. You know, it's in a game, but like we are seeing it like be applied in a very, very approachable way. It's such a cool game that was used by a very cool individual to have some fun and to entertain people, but also teach them something.
Yeah. And push Kerbal to the max.
Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, push it to the max. 'Cause we're at war.
Yes.
At war.
Sorry.
far, the weapons that we've been using have been pretty baby. Sure, setting off an antimatter container creates an enormous explosion, but we don't have any antimatter and we can't really make it. But what we do have is uranium. Uranium, of course, can be made into bombs. Nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs operate on a fairly simple principle. Fission, or the splitting of atoms. You split apart atoms, split atoms release energy and other particles, which go and split more atoms. This releases an enormous amount of energy. Nuclear weapon yields are measured in kilotons or megatons, referring to the equivalent amount of TNT that you'd need to detonate to match it. Now, the way you actually go about doing all this is the tricky part. There's only one natural element that's fissile. that being uranium. But uranium is pretty common, and by itself not very good for making bombs with. What you really need is a special isotope of uranium, uranium-235. The most common form of uranium, U-238, can't sustain a nuclear chain reaction, but U-235 can. The only problem is 99.3% of natural uranium is 238, whereas U-235 only makes up 0.7%. In order to make our bomb, we need to enrich this uranium from 0.7% to over 80%. This is very difficult, because chemically they're almost the exact same. The only useful difference is that U-238 has 3 more neutrons, which makes it ever so slightly heavier. The first machine used to enrich uranium was this, the Calutron, a mass spectrometer which enriched 0.7% uranium to 25% uranium at a huge rate of...
This started off as like a video game playthrough, and now we're learning about the difference between uranium
238 and 235.
Yeah.
Like
this is wild.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is wild.
And it's like so cool. Like I didn't know this stuff.
You know,
and then to like see, and now he's gonna go into like the history of it. So
I did a play called These Shining Lives, which is about the Radium Girls, which is painters who like would paint uranium on watches so it would glow in the dark. And obviously to terrible effect. And it was interesting to, like, I think seeing this and learning, like, oh, they discovered uranium, or like they knew that uranium would be good for atomic weapons, or maybe I guess I'm I didn't realize. I thought uranium was super rare, but the fact that uranium 235 or 238, whichever one is more, 238 is the one that's like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess I can see why they would use it, because it's like actually a really plentiful resource. It just isn't good for you.
Yeah. Hey, that stuff that's used to make bombs. Yeah, it turns out that's not really good for you, man.
Of 50 micrograms per hour. This would take 20,000 hours or 2 years of continuous operation to make 1 single gram. It worked by shooting an ionized beam of uranium through a magnetic field. This magnetic field would deflect the beam into a collector. Since the U-238 is slightly heavier, it was deflected less than the U-235, which meant you could separate the two just a little bit. The U-235 for the Manhattan Project was made using this method, and thousands of calutrons were built, but later dismantled for better methods, like the gas centrifuge. These bad boys take in uranium hexafluoride gas, put it into a centrifuge spinning thousands of times per second, and using the slight difference in mass, a very slightly more enriched stream of gas comes out. This needs to be repeated thousands of times, and then you get highly enriched uranium hexafluoride, which you can process later into uranium metal. Now that we've got the stuff, we need to find a way to make it go boom. The first nuclear bomb used in war, the Little Boy, used a gun design, where one part of the U-235 was shot into another using chemical explosives. Once the two parts combined, they became critical, and a nuclear chain reaction began. This was the second ever nuclear detonation and was fairly primitive by today's standards. Pretty much every nuclear weapon these days is a thermonuclear weapon. Thermonuclear bombs are a two-stage design where a regular fission bomb explodes and sets off a secondary fusion stage. That's right, they use a nuclear bomb to detonate an even more powerful nuclear bomb. Pure fission bombs can at most achieve 500 kilotons of yield, whereas thermonuclear bombs can go from several hundred kilotons to tens of megatons. The largest of these devices was the Soviet Tsar bomb, which exploded with a yield of 50 megatons. However, the design of this bomb called for a 100 megaton yield, which was scaled back once they realized that was dumb. Anyway, we're going to use all this funky nuclear technology and stick it in this, the B-83 nuclear bomb, a thermonuclear device with a maximum yield of 1.3 megatons. Our delivery vehicle will be this, a hypersonic interplanetary missile. Our target is Kevin's Lathe base, which is well defended with surface-to-air missile batteries and patrolling aircraft. It'll speed towards Lathe, turn on its air-breathing engines, fly low to avoid detection by radar, and deliver our little present to the base. So, let's launch.
That perfectly timed beat drop.
Dang.
Nice. Moving closer to Kerbal, we have the planet you forgot exists. Drez. This planet is unremarkable. And of course, Kevin forgot to put any sort of military presence there whatsoever. We're going to use this blind spot to build up a very large presence, using the minerals in its surface to construct a weapon. A very special weapon. But that'll take some time and a lot of mining drones. Moving even closer, Duna, where Kevin has a fairly sizable presence, a base with a few tanks and a whole bunch of surface-to-air missile sites. In some simulations, this base proved to be a tough nut to crack. I tried a helicopter, but Duna's atmosphere was prohibitively thin. I tried some tanks, but Kevin's battalion outgunned us very easily. I tried this high-speed bomber, which was shot down immediately. But then, I had an idea. You see, nuclear warheads underwent many design iterations during their development. Increased power, deliverable versions in bombs, and smaller warheads. One such development was this, the W9. This warhead was small enough that it could be loaded into an artillery shell and fired out of a gun. This gun was called Atomic Annie, and could fire this projectile up to 30 kilometers away. The warhead itself had a yield of 15 kilotons, which was equivalent to Little Boy. Now, this cannon is great, but it's vulnerable to aeroplanes. Lucky for us, though, Kevin assumed that Duna couldn't support any planes since it has no oxygen, and didn't invest.
Also, like, God forbid, what would happen if there was like a malfunction with the launcher itself? Like, that would be...
Yeah, I think there are a lot of fail-safes, but yeah, then your whole battalion is gone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, just was like thinking about that. Like,
all we need to do now is send it over. So let's go.
Ooh. That is a satisfying launch. And that is a satisfying detonation.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, I think it's time we scale things up. Moving back to Drez, as you can see, we've mined a lot of stuff and completed production of our special weapon. An engine. A really, really big engine.
Oh my God.
But where to move it? We've taken Jewel and Duna. I don't want to destroy Kerbal. And Moho, he's cool. This leaves one last target. Eve. I don't like Eve one bit, and Kevin has built a lot of stuff on it. SAM sites, surface bases, aircraft, orbiting platforms.
It's a pleasant looking
But
planet.
I don't have to deal with that stuff, or with Eve, if it's not there. Gentlemen, start the engines.
Oh no. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What the fuck? Turning our attention back to Kerbal, this is where the bulk of Kevin's force is. He has hundreds of planes, tanks, and drones. But at this point, so do we. And ours all happen to be stationed in orbit, ready to strike at any moment. And now is that moment.
Look at this.
This is insane. Like it's almost breaking my brain that this is all shot in Kerbal.
Kerbal Space
Like
Program,
this seems like, is any of this not from Kerbal? Is this all really Kerbal? I mean, it's got to be, right? Like it wouldn't be.
Yeah, Yeah,
but it's almost like I've just never. I apparently need to get into the modding. You check out the mods a lot more because this is
part
insane.
4. Part 4 here is very different than every other part.
Remember like, part 1?
Like, casual exploration. Teaching us about the theory of relativity and the speed of light, and like now it's just Ace Combat, dude. It's just Ace Combat, but
with more realistic physics.
Holy fuck!
The back rooms.
I smell something. Ah, Jesus Christ! You're an alien! I fucking knew it! You can't fool me, you little shit. I had you from day one. Alright, well. I'm just gonna go over here and punch in some numbers. Don't worry about it, Kevin. And start charging. Alrighty, Kev. I'm sending you back to Proxima Centauri. Clearly where you belong. So see you later, Kevin. May we never meet ever again.
Send him into the sun.
Oh no.
And that's it, fellas. I'm done. I'm free. No more KSP. I'm going on holiday for about a month, but once I'm back, big things are coming. So get subscribed. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Buy the frog. And I'll see you next time.
Yes. Definitely.
What an epic conclusion.
Yeah, I mean,
to the quadrilogy.
That was so much fun. I just, man, the editing on that one was like a whole new level. It was so intense.
It was like a completely different game.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I'm sort of at a loss for words. It was just so intense.
So intense.
I think it's crazy, just like the story. Like I think I appreciate that, just like the story that went into it.
Yeah,
and like all the levels and how it amped up, and
I love how
it to that extreme of like it's interesting if it's like it's almost like sketch comedy / meets, or like it's written in that way that like comedy's like, how do I take this to the extreme, which is like, okay, Kerbal Space Program is fun, what's the extremist version of it? Space war, intergalactic battles. And I think that's really fun.
I think it's great to have Martin like had this idea and was trying to be funny in part 1, and then he ended up building this narrative that just kind of clearly changed as he was progressing along in the game, and he was adapting it for the audience.
Yeah,
it was really, really cool, and just a very clear demonstration of his creativity and his editing skills. And he took a sandbox game and made an epic narrative to surround it, and that's just so cool. That's what this is all about. That's what YouTube was made for in the first place.
Definitely. So, hey, if you all like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything else, and leave a comment in that comment section down below. Let us know if there's any other martincitopants videos that you want us to check out, or any other KSP content that you think we would be into. Let us know in that comment section down below. Also, go check us out on Twitch. We are live every day. We're actually doing some reacts live on Twitch as well. And you can come and join. We've actually got some incredible viewers right now, people commenting in the comment section down below. We're going to catch up with them in a second. So you could join that too if you go watch us live on Twitch and follow us so you don't miss out on that. Yeah. Also check out links in the description down below. You can actually check out Zach and I's Instagram or their individual Instagrams. But yeah,
IMDb's, all that stuff. But it's going to definitely help us with the project that we have coming up. It's going to be global. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you all so much. I think we'll see you next time
on Chicago React.